Tonight on Cronkite News, a deep dive into President Trump's State of the Union address and what it means for Arizonans.
Plus, Arizona's top prosecutor is fighting for the Trump administration over changes to childhood vaccine mandates.
And ASU women's basketball looks to leave an impression tonight, chasing their 23rd win of the season and building momentum for the women's NCAA tournament. Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News. I'm Andrew Neeram.
And I'm Eric Matsumoto. Thank you for joining us. We begin with the State of the Union address last night. President Trump discussed everything from the economy to foreign affairs to declaring a golden age of America in a record-breaking 1 hour and 48-minute speech. Politicians across the aisle had wildly different responses to the event, with Republican legislators standing up and giving ovations, and many Democrats skipping the speech entirely. Arizona's Senator Mark Kelly took to X to share his thoughts.
I think this was a incredibly disappointing and low point, if there can be one, in this president's time in office.
In the address, the president said the country is, quote, bigger, better, richer, and stronger than ever before, and he boasted that he had delivered a historic economic turnaround. Our reporter Alyssa Horton was in the chamber for the speech and joins us from Washington. Alyssa, Democrats had very different views on how well things have been going in the last year. What do the numbers show?
Well, the president focused on prices of eggs and gas, which have gone down in the last year, but Democrats have pointed to numbers that are a little less rosy. Metrics have shown that tariffs cost the average U.S. household an extra $1,000 a year, and that's also impacted small businesses. Wages still haven't caught up with inflation from years ago, and job growth was pretty flat in 2025. Aside from the pocketbook issues, Republicans and Democrats have looked at the president's immigration crackdown as two very different realities. Republicans and Trump have said that the border is secure, but Democrats have said ICE is trampling rights and in the process, killing people.
We did see a lot of friction. Was there a moment when the Capitol felt unified?
This was a very confrontational speech. A memorable moment was when Trump all but dared Dems to stand up if they agreed that protecting Americans was more important than protecting undocumented immigrants. Democrats, as they did for most of the speech, stayed quiet. He laid all kinds of traps like these and played to his base. There was a bipartisan ovation when the president brought out the U.S. men's hockey team, who just brought home gold against Canada. I was standing near the players when they came out, and I can say, along with probably the rest of America, I was pretty shocked when they came through the press gallery and everyone pushed towards them.
Now, this was your first time attending the State of the Union. What was that like?
This was a surreal experience. I was witnessing history up close. I was in the room with the most powerful people in the country and some of the most powerful people in the world.
Thank you. That was Alyssa Horton from our Washington, D.C. bureau.
In other national news, the Supreme Court ruled that President Trump's emergency tariffs from last year are illegal, leaving businesses wanting a refund from the over $100 billion generated from the tariffs. FedEx is taking matters into its own hands and suing to get its cash back. FedEx said the refund would help the company recoup and regain the money it spent paying tariffs. Over 1,000 other companies like Costco are also suing the U.S. Court of International Trade for refunds. The amount companies are requesting remains unclear.
That's not the only lawsuit recently brought against the federal government. 15 states, including Arizona, are suing the Trump administration over vaccinations. The lawsuit, led by Arizona General Chris Mays, challenges alleged illegal changes to the childhood immunization schedule. The lawsuit comes after HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the CDC stripped the requirements of 7 vaccines that protect children from illnesses like COVID-19, the flu, hepatitis, and more. Mays says the new regulations aren't backed by science and that they violate federal law that outlines who makes decisions over the immunization process.
Meanwhile, President Trump's pick for Surgeon General is facing tough questions from the Senate today.
Dr. Casey Means fielded a variety of questions surrounding women's health this afternoon, specifically about her position on abortion medication.
I do believe that every patient needs to have a very thorough conversation with their doctor before taking any medication. Unfortunately, in our current healthcare system, because of how overburdened doctors are, this often doesn't happen, whether it's in person or online.
Another hot topic for Means' confirmation hearing was vaccines.
Means was questioned about her belief on vaccines and autism. Here's what she had to say.
The administration has just committed a huge amount of funding to look at the exposome of all environmental factors that could be contributing to autism. And until we have a clear understanding of why kids are developing this at higher rates, I think we should not leave any stones unturned.
Means has previously questioned whether children receive too many vaccines. Means is a wellness influencer and does not hold an active medical license after it lapsed a few years ago.
Because of her views, many medical professionals have questioned whether she's qualified to serve as Surgeon General.
February is American Heart Month, but even as it comes to a close, experts stress the importance of continuing heart health awareness year-round. Reporter Ashley Aros spoke with a doctor and CPR coordinators to highlight why taking care of our hearts remains so critical.
The heart is a vital organ about the size of a fist that pumps blood nonstop. Its failure can be deadly.
Heart disease is silent until it is catastrophic.
Dr. Vijay says he knows firsthand how dangerous heart disease can be. His father had heart failure and lost his life.
My father didn't even see me as a doctor. I was about to give my final exam, but he passed away.
According to the Arizona Department of Health Services, heart disease is the leading cause of death.
Someone can go into cardiac arrest at any time if they're healthy.
Dr. Vijay says one of the causes of heart disease is emotional challenges.
What is happening out there? And what's happening is all the stress inside the body, which is contributing to the inflammation.
Experts say there are also pre-existing conditions that might affect the heart.
Uncontrolled blood pressure, uncontrolled diabetes, uncontrolled cholesterol, smoking and using drugs, and not eating healthy and eating junk food and not getting enough exercise.
Dr. Vijay and Shank say to protect your heart, you must be proactive by going to annual checkups and learning CPR. CPR can save lives. Classes like this teach you the proper depth, rate, and technique.
It's just such a good tool to have because you never know when you're going to be in an emergency situation, right?
Staying ahead in the fight against heart disease is critical, according to health experts.
Prevention is not just possible, it's powerful.
In Phoenix, Ashley Aros, Cronkite News.
The 2026 Phoenix Heart Walk is happening Saturday, March 28th, focusing on fundraising and including feature events focusing on heart health, CPR training, and more.
Coming up next, historic footage buried in history is finally unearthed after 50 years.
How a video capturing black culture in 1960s New York turned into an Academy Award-winning documentary.
He said, point blank, I think people are pushing back on black history, specifically for television. And he felt it was a racist move.
An inspiring documentary and a decades-long fight for the truth, coming up on Cronkite News.
Plus, will these hot temperatures continue? Maybe even reach 90 degrees? We'll have the details after this quick break.
So many new people who are on different communities, and when you do that, you're able to network not only, but also get to engage, talk to people, and make life friends.
I think that definitely surprised me, the community that I would find, because I wasn't really expecting it. I was like,
freedom.
Friendly. Nice. I'd say cozy.
Cronkite can be creative.
Footage from the 1969 Harlem Cultural Festival was recently rediscovered and turned into a documentary that celebrates Black History Month.
Cronkite News reporter Serenity Reynolds explains the significance of this film and why it's generating widespread attention.
Footage that was never meant to see the light of day turned into an Academy Award-winning documentary and being shown here at ASU. A vow years in the making.
I promised him that, we would make not only a film that honored his legacy, but really brought light to an event that brought joy to so many.
Award-winning film producer David Dinerstein promising to finally release video locked away for more than 50 years.
There was this sort of lore to the footage. I had heard about the footage from a friend of mine that's sort of a music buff, and I sought it out with the guy that had originally shot the footage. His name was Hal Tolchin.
A TV director and producer, Tolchin filmed the Harlem Cultural Festival back in 1969, but when he tried to get the video to broadcast on TV, no one picked it up.
I asked him why, and he said, point blank, I think people are pushing back on Black history, specifically for television, and he felt it was a racist move.
Tolchin died when he was 90 years old, before the footage ever made it to TV, and Dinerstein himself had a hard time getting the movie sold.
The big studios were reluctant to pick it up, just as they were in the late 60s. It's crazy that it took so long, as long as it did, to get this picture out.
Finally, in 2021, Summer of Soul hit the big screen. Now Dinerstein speaking and sharing about the film at the ASU Mix Center to celebrate Black History Month.
Not only in Black History Month, but it should be shown all the time because history is being wiped out. And so it's up to us or those who have control over media to do something about it.
The film and event inviting all in the community to recognize the importance of Black-led stories. Summer of Soul won numerous awards and honors, including the Oscar for the Best Documentary Feature in 2022. In the newsroom, Serenity Reynolds, Cronkite News.
Thank you, Serenity. As this month comes to a close, there's no shortage of Black History Month events happening here in the Valley.
That's right, Andrew. Plenty of opportunities this weekend to get outside and connect with your community. Here's just a few. We've got a screening of the 1997 Men in Black movie at Civic Space Park. That, along with an outdoor marketplace hosted by Black-owned businesses. Also, the Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour at Mortgage Matchup Center, and a health and wellness expo in Chandler with free health screenings and family-friendly outdoor games. Each of these events are happening on Saturday.
Well, it will be a beautiful weekend to go get out and celebrate. But Arizona's heating up, and there's definitely more sunshine in our future.
But just how much? We'll let you know. Alex DaCosta joins us now from the Cronkite Weather Center with our forecast.
Thanks, Eric. Welcome to the Cronkite Weather Report. We're still in February, but with March right around the corner, we've got some clear sunny skies ahead. So let's take a look at this evening's planner. At 6 p.m., we're at a nice 80 degrees, and then it's going to slowly go down to 68 degrees because we're in the desert at 10 p.m. Kind of cold. Let's go towards the low temperatures for tomorrow. Thursday, we've got 31 degrees up north in Grand Canyon, and then looking down to Tucson, we've got 56 degrees. But right here in the heart of Phoenix, we've got 64 degrees, which I like to go golfing during that time. Very nice. And then moving on to the high temperatures, we've got 66 degrees up in Grand Canyon, and down in Tucson, they're not quite where we are yet with 87 degrees. We're sitting at a nice 90 degrees. Beautiful weather for spring training. Go watch a game if you haven't already. Let's go on to the 8-day forecast. Thursday and Friday look pretty sunny out with 84 and 85 degrees and the lows only being 53, 58. But then clouds are back out on Saturday, but don't worry, Sunday, it's back sunny again. And then moving on, Monday just a little bit more cloudy. But the rest of the week looking at a comfortable low 90, high 80. But the average for this month is 51 for the low and 73 for the high. So we are at a comfortable above average. Let's go. Nice. And from the Cronkite Weather Report, Alex DaCosta.
Thanks, Alex. A quick reminder for our voters in Tempe. An important election date is coming up.
If you're voting by mail to fill Tempe's 3 open city council seats in March, the window to fill out your ballot is closing. This Friday is the last day that you can request a ballot by mail. Tuesday is the last day the city recommends you send in your ballot. That's less than a week from today, before Election Day on March 10th.
Coming up next, spring training is underway here in the Valley.
And in Mesa, a brand new museum is stepping up to the plate to celebrate Arizona's rich baseball history.
We knew the story we wanted to tell, and that was how did baseball begin in Arizona. That was so important. You can't have a museum like this without talking about how it all got here.
What was once a World War II bomb shelter is now home to the Arizona Baseball Museum. We'll take you inside the exhibits preserving 150 years of the game, coming up on Cronkite News.
You meet so many new people who are on different communities, and when you do that, you're able to network not only, but also get to engage, talk to people, and make life friends.
I think that definitely surprised me, the community that I would find, because I wasn't really expecting it. I was
freedom.
Friendly. Nice. I'd say cozy.
This is where Cronkite can be creative.
Welcome to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Farah Bojalid. Arizona State's women's basketball wraps up its home schedule tonight against BYU as they look for win number 23 of the season. After recording just 10 victories last year, the Sun Devils have done a complete turnaround under New Year head coach Molly Miller and have the most since 2019. Miller believes her team is March ready and says she is confident in leading the Sun Devils to their first appearance in the NCAA tournament since that 2019 campaign. This Saturday, lights go up at Desert Diamond Arena for a WBC Continental Super Bantamweight title, and it features one of the Valley's rising stars who's stepping back into the spotlight. We caught up with Jordan Martinez ahead of the fight night as he breaks down his opponent and why this could be the biggest moment of his career. Martinez says this is more than just a fight. It could be the biggest moment of his career, and he wants to prove he belongs on the big stage. Training at Fuentes Boxing Club ahead of the weekend's main event, Martinez knows he has at least one thing on his side, fighting in front of the home crowd here in the Valley.
Man, it's crazy. I'm gonna have a big crowd behind me, you know. So everybody that's gonna be here, you know, it's all family. Everybody from Phoenix is gonna be able to make it for sure, you know. And a lot of people are gonna want to see me come out victorious and put our gym on the map.
Martinez will face Arturo Cardenas in the Super Bantamweight title fight. The fight will be available to stream on DAZN. Spring training is in full swing here in the Valley, making the biggest of the baseball season. And out in Mesa, a new museum is displaying all things Arizona baseball has just thrown out its first pitch. Our Antonio Gutierrez takes a tour of it.
In the historic community of Lehi, Mesa, the Arizona Baseball Museum recently stepped up to the plate and opened its doors for baseball lovers to enjoy. What once was a bomb shelter during World War II is now the only permanent museum in the state that showcases the over 150-year history of Arizona baseball. Executive Director of the museum, Susan Ritchie, had a central goal while building the museum over the span of 2 years.
We knew the story we wanted to tell, and that was how did baseball begin in Arizona. That was so important. You can't have a museum like this without talking about how it all got here.
The stories of Arizona baseball are woven through all of the different exhibits, and Susan gave us a rundown of the significance each one holds.
One of our exhibits is about baseball organists this year, and the other night we had two super famous organists. Nancy Faust is featured. Nancy, aside from being female, she was with the Chicago White Sox for 41 years, and she invented the walk-up music. So that's what makes her, you know, that na-na-na-na, that was her. She was the first one that did that, along with Bobby Freeman, who you hear at the Diamondbacks game. This is his organ and keyboard. He has, this is similar to what he uses at the game. And these are our fan stories. You know, all of these stories came from people that shared, you know, what it was like, a memory, a fond baseball memory. We want, and so we have this up here with a QR code. We really want people to share their stories with us. This is called The Dugout, and it was, it's named for the Mesa Hohokam, who are celebrating their 75th anniversary of it being in existence. And so this is just tons of memorabilia from the Cactus League and from the Hohokam.
I mean, this is a lot coming together all at once, and it took multiple years. What was that whole process of, I mean, reaching out to people to ask for these kind of stuff?
It was a little bit daunting. Like I said, a lot of the memorabilia we had in our collection, so we were good. But if I was to do this again tomorrow, I would be making lots of phone calls to try to get more memorabilia, because this is 4,000 square feet. So there's a lot of space here, and we want to keep it full.
Keeping it full with autographed baseballs and jerseys is great for the eye, but exhibit designer Tony Peters expects for visitors to learn something new when they visit.
Hours and hours of research. That helps the viewer come in and then at the end of the day walk away, go, wow, I did not know that about Arizona. And that's kind of what the intention is supposed to be.
The Arizona Baseball Museum gives a home to artifacts that play such a vital part in telling Arizona's rich baseball history. In Mesa, Antonio Gutierrez, Cronkite News.
The museum just opened its doors last weekend and is another addition to the historic Lehi community. The Scottsdale Ice Den is still celebrating Olympic gold, as some of the Team USA's players have Arizona roots and take advantage of the facilities the desert has to offer. Tage Thompson, Clayton Keller, and Team USA captain Austin Matthews all participate in the Ice Den performance program in the summer. These ties to the desert had the Valley's youth players ecstatic that those players were representing Arizona on a national stage, and has all of those involved hopeful about what it could do for the future of hockey in Arizona.
It's pretty cool for not only Arizona, but the USA Hockey umbrella. Just watching some of these young kids like myself when I was younger, watching these professional athletes play best on the best stage, and to be able to come out on top, I think that helps grow the grassroots level in Arizona and across the country as well.
Arizona Coyotes legend Shane Doan has a sheet named after him at the Ice Den, and his wife Andrea was named the chairman of advisory panel aiming to bring the NHL back to Arizona in December, exemplifying their care for the future of the hockey in the desert. That's it for tonight's Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Farah Bojalid. Thank you for joining us. Now back to Andrew and Eric at the desk.
Coming up next, an icon found mostly in grocery stores and cleaning cabinets is being shelved.
That means this household fixture could possibly leave our counters a little less clean. So, what's the reason behind Mr. Clean's departure? What we know about his retirement coming up.
Welcome back. This staple in cleaning products is throwing in the towel. Mr. Clean announces his retirement.
After more than 60 years on shelves, he says he has earned some time off. Don't worry just yet. Procter & Gamble says the product's packaging will not change, so you can still find the bald icon stocked on your shelves. P&G says Mr. Clean's retirement is connected to an upcoming mystery announcement from the company.
That's it for tonight's edition of Cronkite News. I'm Andrew Neeram.
And I'm Eric Matsumoto. Thank you for joining us.
And to see top Arizona stories anytime, log on to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.